Morning, everybody. Kevin here from Watch This with Joe and Kevin, back for the second episode of season 3 of The Sopranos. I really liked the premiere, even though it was kind of a departure from the main events of the story. The story of Tony, right? The family drama that it is. Um, it, it was definitely, for a season premiere, a turn I didn't expect, and I assume a lot of people watching didn't. You kind of feel like it's a season premiere. It'll be a big thing with whatever's happening with Tony and Richie's family and Junior and all of this stuff that actually wasn't really addressed in a big way at all. The fallout from Sal, which they barely kind of discussed. As I guess that kind of set up getting the bug place. But other than that, it really was kind of a standalone episode dealing with the FBI's procedural efforts to get Tony, which I really liked. It's not easy for a show to pull off that kind of defiance of expectations. Most shows fail at it, and this one did a really good job. Because I feel like, just for me, there are two parts to making that work. The first is you have to decide to do it and really go one direction. The audience expects something different. This show did it great at the end of last season with Janice killing Richie, right? I expected there to be a big thing between him and Tony, and it never materialized. Janice did it. A lot of shows will do this. They'll zig when you think they'll zag, and it's an effort to be edgier than people expect you to be, right? And it's not to say that you always have to defy expectations. Breaking Bad was a show that never really did. I didn't think anything in Breaking Bad was really a big surprise where I thought one thing was going to happen, but another thing did in terms of major plot ideas. It kind of washed out exactly how we all kind of thought it would by the end. Um, but it was still great. It was still done so well and plotted so perfectly. I don't think anyone's disappointed. Most fan service things kind of fall in line with that. We don't defy expectations. We give the audience what they want. Um, but there's the second part of doing this kind of defiance, right, of what the audience thinks they want, is in retrospect, you have to go back and say, okay, I didn't expect that to happen, but I see why it happened and I liked it and it worked. That's harder to pull off. I know I pick on the show a lot, but think about a show like The Walking Dead, who always tried to mess with the audience and change and leave you on cliffhangers and take departures from what you thought was going to happen. Most of the time it ended up being lame when they did it, right? There's a reason that this show went from being incredibly popular for 3 years to almost nobody watching it by the final year. You just chased off your audience by defying expectations in a way that just made the audience feel like they were being messed with and not in a way that kind of served the art form. This show did a really good job of completely doing something I didn't expect with Richie, completely doing something I didn't expect with the premiere here, and both times saying, you know what, I was completely fooled, but it really works in retrospect. I'm really glad they chose to go that direction. So, kudos on you for The Sopranos. This, as a serialized show, this was one of the pioneers, and I am kind of surprised that other shows don't do as well with some of these techniques that were established in the creation of this show. So good for them. Going to go and jump into it here, but I want to thank all of our Patreon subscribers for being here with us. I'd like to give a special shout out to Actuarial Lurker, Balazs Foldes, Chris, Derek Peterson, Jeff, Christy Goverston, NJ, Richard Wilkinson, Suda Gundavarapu, Torgeir Lingstad, Weird Magic, and Where Panda 47. Thanks so much, guys. Really glad you're here with us. If you would like to see a full-length reaction to this and everything else we've watched or currently watching, please check out a link in the description below to our Patreon page on every show, including The Sopranos. We are at least 4 episodes ahead on Patreon of where we're on YouTube, so if you get done watching the YouTube edits would like to continue, you can do it on our Patreon page. You will have to sync and watch along on your own source material. You will only see us for copyright purposes. I remember I watched Game of Thrones in real time when it was airing on HBO. By like season 5, I'd gotten HBO. The first 4 seasons I had to watch on DVD when they came out. But I got really excited when the theme song came on that show every week when I was actually watching it in real time. Kind of curious if people who watched this as it was actually airing on HBO weekly got as excited about the theme song as I did for that. Like, get you right in that headspace. We did get a sense that there was, in the premiere last week on the newspaper, that there was going to be like wars among the mob for the control of like certain garbage areas as far as the services.
Puts it back.
Yep, that's that way. Sanitation war.
Oh my God. Tony! Tony!
Okay, did Tony pass out? Yeah, there's broken glass by him. I'm sorry. Him rolling around on the broken glass is like, it didn't give me a little bad vibes. I like how this is done. I don't recognize this kid. Or is that AJ? Didn't look like him.
Hey, what are you doing here?
We have to drive back here because some schmuck stole the VCR from the common room.
Oh, I heard the sounds of the VCR. I was getting confused. It's like, are they still playing this?
We're out of here.
40 grand a year to watch old movies? Who's we?
Just a friend from class, okay?
Okay, so I don't know this kid.
Muni was not, so I give the nod to William Wellman.
No, I'm just gonna grab the Bare Naked Lady CD and then let's hit the road.
Yeah, B&L.
Last year, this course is being offered. Images of hyper-capitalist self-advancement in the era of the studio system.
That's a weird class.
You know, you and Meadow. Are you,
A little early to say.
what's your background, Noel?
You shouldn't have said that.
Oh, my dad is Jewish and my mother's family is African-American.
Tannenbaum, right. But on your application to Columbia, you didn't check Jewish, did
Oh my God, let the race thing go, my man.
you? You're, Ditsun.
Excuse me?
Charcoal briquette, a moulignon.
Oh my God.
What's your problem?
I think you know what my problem is.
Oh no.
She didn't do you any favors bringing you into this house. Now, I don't know what the she was thinking.
Oh no.
Comes down the stairs. You're gonna say how nice it was to meet me. Then you're gonna go drop her off at school and you're gonna say goodbye.
Holy crap.
We're gonna drop by Hunter's. I want to meet Nella. Then we'll be back to pick up my laundry. Later, Dad.
Yikes. I like that the kid stood up to him. He's braver than most guys when it comes to Tony. Okay, this makes sense why he blacked out. He's in an idiot rage. Oh my God. That's why he said Uncle Ben. I thought he was talking like about one of Junior's brothers or something. Oh my God.
He's just a new friend, Tony.
You didn't see the way they were looking at each other.
You want her to be with him, just keep it up.
It's probably true.
You're gonna drive her right into his arms.
Not if I cut off those arms.
Stop it.
He's a kid, you moron.
I should call Cusimano. You might need stitches.
Yeah, he went down on the floor in the glass pretty hard.
Yeah, if one of my sisters ever brought home a butterhead, you know what my old man would do?
I do like that they do this on this show. Tony becomes he's so charming, he becomes likable that remind you he's not.
Brought you some books on tape, since you say you can't concentrate to read.
I wish the Lord would take me now.
This line again.
In the meantime,
Yeah, it's not letting it affect her.
Kamel's might return these books to the kids filled with memories. You can't write stuff down from your life for your grandkids?
It's none of anybody's business.
Oh my God.
What are you gonna say if they put you on a witness stand? Because the only reason they let you go is to get your cooperation. Don't wave your hanky at me.
I mean, this is important.
Now, Barb will testify I didn't say it, but you gotta back her up.
I suppose I should have just kept my mouth shut, like a mute.
In the future.
I mean, yeah, that's what we're supposed to do.
You know, for a year, I didn't speak to you. Maybe I should have kept it that way.
I mean, I don't know how reliable as a witness she is, but so you like the kid's taste in movies, but not the kid. Interesting, he likes mob movies. Yeah, I mean, real. I've never seen this, by the way. I don't know if I've ever seen a Jimmy Cagney movie.
What did you say? He was all quiet at Hunter. She thinks he's a snob, and now he's just sitting out in the car.
Oh, you didn't hear me? Maybe if I say it in Swahili.
There it is.
Meadow, can you come up here, please?
What?
I need your help with this class.
I'm loving this. Oh yeah, Tony kind of sucks.
Oh, your mother died.
You're kidding.
No.
She said that after dinner, your mother went upstairs to get ready for bed. When Svetlana came up, your mother was under the covers in her nightgown. Svetlana thought she was asleep.
Good God, what must be going through his head right now?
Hey, your grandmother loved you. She loved both you two. Very much.
We can't tell how the family feels about it. It looked like they weren't as shaken up as he was.
What's your beef?
Turn off the music. You can't study.
Stopping by woods on a snowy evening. Oh my God, I'm so glad I'm not in high school anymore.
You read this?
It's about a guy who's had an affair. He's in love with the woman between the frozen water. Not a guy who had an affair or wants to have an affair.
What's covering the field?
Snow?
Yay! And what does snow symbolize?
Christmas?
Hello. Cold.
Yeah. Alienation.
Death.
I thought black was death.
He has miles to go before he sleeps.
So he must be far away from his house.
The sleep of death.
I don't agree with that.
He's talking about his own death, which is yet to come but will come.
I disagree with your interpretation of the palmetto.
Grandma?
No. Is he home alone?
I didn't want any kind of service, Tony. No remembrance at all.
So we'll pick out a simple urn or whatever.
Does this mean we are going to get Janice back? Sooner than I thought.
Прощай, Ливюшка.
That's the name of the episode, okay?
Means what?
Goodbye, little Livia.
Well, that would have been, that would have understood that.
I can imagine how you feel.
Yeah, well, what are you gonna do?
He doesn't even know what to say.
At least she didn't suffer. Thank God.
That's right.
So by the doorbell.
She was so awful. What do I tell my kids when their own aunt won't even come to a funeral?
Oh my God. Is that Janice? This isn't going to come to the funeral?
You may recall, Tony, that I have very good and valid reasons why I should not present myself in the state of New Jersey.
Oh, Jesus, that case is colder than your tit.
Well, you can just get on a plane, but for us working folk...
Oh, listen to this. Woody Guthrie over here. One seat. Coach. And if you don't show up, let me tell you right now, don't come breezing in here when it comes time to carve up the estate.
That's a good threat for her. She moves fast.
I wish you was a wishing well, so that I could tie a bucket to you and sink you.
Maybe you found
Oh my God. The stuff that Tony thinks this is funny is gross.
Tommy, Tommy. Oh, Tommy.
Can't believe he's smiling at this.
I know how you feel.
Oh, Joe Pentel. You know, Matrix guy.
Who's crew?
You're the boss. You get to put in anybody you want over the crew.
You're a captain, Ralphie, when I say you're a captain.
And I'm going to turn up my hearing aid so I don't miss it.
Yeah.
But he keeps playing footsie with Albert. The next minute, he's threatening to go to the EPA, bust us all.
He said that?
Oh, no. That's a good reveal.
Sopranos, Janice, Bob, please, accept my condolences. I'll use all my powers, all my skills.
Don't go crazy. I mean...
Well, very much a callback to The Godfather.
I thought maybe we'd have a shindig at the house, you know. After. So the grandkids could, you know... I don't know.
I don't believe Janice's grief here at all. I really don't.
I want you to know, Tony, that this all won't fall on you. I'll do a painting for the overleaf for the program at the service.
Wow, she's in such a cheery mood all of a sudden.
People can drink, they can eat some gorgonzola, they want to yak about more, that's their business.
I agree with that. Just let people do what they do. Has he told her?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
My condolences, nothing. Actually, that's good. It's a relief. You're not saying nothing, you want to know the truth.
Something.
I'm glad she's dead. Not just glad, I wished she'd die. Wished.
Well, he's really going to go through some processing a lot of different emotions here.
She might have testified against me, so when I heard she was dead, relief flooded into my veins.
She's not buying any of this. Let him process it out loud.
That's a miserable, disgusting thing to be, a bad son. I mean, your kid up at Bard. He better be a good son, right?
How about her being a bad mother?
She ruined my father's life.
But he wasn't her son. What did she do to you?
Come on, that's a matter of public record in here. We both know.
Often secretly wish for an aged parent to die. And it's not necessary for the parent to be a witness for the prosecution.
Particularly if the parent has lost all capacity for joy at
I
being
believe
alive.
that. I really believe that.
So we're probably done here, right? She's dead.
No, you haven't processed everything that she did.
Want me to wear a wire?
Why not? You need batteries? Let's go right over here to Office Depot.
Is everybody an informant now?
Janice.
She is actually looking for hidden money.
All women are not cut out to be martyrs.
Is that a slam at me?
No.
Maybe you were thinking it, Janice.
None of my childhood schoolwork or artwork or anything for that matter is here anymore, nor Barb's.
Is it all Tony's?
7th grade, Mr. Martino. I had him. Why Fear Strikes Out by Jim Purcell is a good book.
Good baseball book.
She only saved yours.
What are you talking about? Here's Barbara's communion certificate. Here's her baby shoe.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, varsity letter for football.
Good.
That is a quick picture of her. Did the actress die? Is that what happened here? Because I feel like this was really abrupt. It just looked like she had more going on behind her eyes. In the last scene they showed her, like there was still more to tell. God, that is so weird and bold. There he is.
Hey.
I'm just going to call him Joe P because I can't remember how to say his last name.
Breaking the terms of your house arrest?
I got a dispensation from the marshals. She's my sister-in-law, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, I think they would let him go.
Allow me to express my condolences at those at the 8th Ward.
Thank you, Assemblyman.
I met your mom once or twice. That was, a proud Newarker.
I don't know his name.
Oh, hey, Reverend.
My sympathies, Tony. We talked about this day, did we not?
Animals.
You know, State Assemblyman Zellman, right? From the 8th Ward?
Do I know this guy? You bet.
Yes, we go way back. How are you, Assemblyman?
Why is Meadow so weirded out by this?
They're dropping like flies.
It's all that charcoal broiled meat you people ate.
Nobody told us till the 80s.
That was actually pretty funny.
Don't make me say things to you we'll both regret.
Go ahead. I'm fed up.
Nope. Oh, that's the guy who made the threat, the recycling guy. Yeah.
No fires. Tony doesn't want any fires.
This poor guy. I mean, the guy was threatening to rat him out. I guess that's a risk you take.
Well, Doc, what do you think? Can't stay here. Well, we'll hope for the best. Doctor, this is Tom's mother.
I don't know how this series ends, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's kind of how it ends for Tony right there. That might be foreshadowing that a little bit, that he gets killed.
The Lord lift up his countenance upon her and give her peace. Amen.
Yeah, she's still mad at you.
She's sure you said something to him. He won't discuss it. He clams up.
Honestly, Junior might be the only person at this funeral who cares.
Anyway, we're not going to be needing your services anymore, obviously. I'll be moving into the house, so...
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Tony says I can continue situation till Bill and me find house.
See, Tony should have consulted me first. I'm going to be living at 55 Benedict.
I hate Janice so much.
I want the entire discography back at the house by this weekend.
Mother just went in the ground and Janice is already picking at the bones.
You call her every day.
Mom passed away.
Really? When?
Interesting. Get a flashback.
Is she still on that crazy diet?
Oh, wow.
Mrs. S.
Still?
Oh, what's the matter?
After what my son did to you.
God, she was a monster.
She's already becoming a robot, like the rest of us.
I'm so sorry about your grandma.
At least she didn't suffer.
They're all saying the same thing. That's great.
Finally, a voice from the back. His brother was worse.
Everyone has to fake like they're sad. This is a sad commentary on funerals.
This is a survivor show.
Somebody should find the winner, stick a pistol in the face, and say, "You're not gonna survive this unless you give me 25% of that."
Oh, God.
At this time, we would like to ask you all to join us in the great room. Form a circle and sit anywhere.
Also, she's doing this thing Tony said not to do.
We can all be together and share a remembrance or a feeling about the woman who has brought us all here today.
Yeah, no one's feeling anything. Very few people.
Join us, please.
Boy, they're really making Janice unlikable again.
I guess what struck me most was she didn't mince words.
Janice, you're making this so awkward. Everybody's looking at the floor. No one wants to do this. God, Janice sucks.
Anthony Jr.
I don't know what to say.
Come on. Lay off him, Janice. Move on.
Yeah.
She was my best friend.
Oh, okay.
If anybody died or was in the hospital, I could be sure I'd get a call from Lee letting me know.
Okay, that was actually nice. Someone had something nice to say. Genuinely.
Okay. What's good for the goose?
No.
Well, most of you will probably remember that I have an extraordinary visual sense. And she's the reason I make videos today.
This is so awkward.
Wrap it up, Janice.
Thank you. I'm 100% with Tony on this one. This is your show.
I hear she didn't suffer.
There it is.
I guess our little secret dies with her.
Oh, he's really upset still. This brought up the feelings about the fire. Yeah.
I picked that up.
Yeah.
Evading and smiling, passing out cheese puffs over a woman that we all know was terribly dysfunctional.
I mean,
Ruined. I don't know how many Christmases. I don't want to even begin to count.
You.
No, don't hand me that.
Everybody hated her. They're just saying it now.
She didn't want a funeral. She didn't want a remembrance of any kind. Why? She didn't think anybody would come.
Oh my God, this is...
She wouldn't write down her memories for her grandchildren because she figured nobody loved her enough to read them.
Everyone just keeps drinking.
There's desserts in the dining room if anybody wants some.
That really shut Artie down too, didn't it?
And they're all from Vesuvio. Our new pastry chef, Bobby Vasquez.
There's Mad. This is the most uncomfortable funeral I've ever watched in a television show or movie, I swear. He's not laughing anymore, is he? I don't know this film. I need a Public Enemy. I need to check it out. It looked like it's dead there. What an episode! Well, for anyone who didn't feel like they got enough of a connection to the storylines of The Sopranos in the premiere, excuse me, this more than made up for it. The writing in that funeral scene was so perfect. It was so uncomfortably long. Janice, as a horrible human being, really hijacking everything, ostensibly to worm herself back in with her family so she can get ultimately expensive the house and money out of it by the end, including the records. Carmela's interjection there was so well done, and it got everybody kind of acknowledging how they really feel about her. I've been to one funeral for a family member that nobody really got along with, and obviously that didn't happen, but felt everything awkward before that, right? Where everyone's just kind of standing around and nobody's really talking. They're there to pay their respects because they're supposed to be. But yeah, that I felt that discomfort before, and the fact that Janice tried to coax everybody into, just beyond forcing people into pretending it was a more sad event than it was, that it was a more tragic event, that there was some type of positive remembrance. was really uncomfortable. And I mean, I get that there's a time and a place for everything, but everyone's being so forced that I completely get why Carmela reacted the way she did, right? Like, if it had just been allowed to go on with everybody being there to pay their respects to a person they didn't really respect, and then kind of go through the motions, say at least she didn't suffer, and everybody move on, I think it would have been fine. And by fine, I just mean that there wouldn't have been any big revelations that you can say are appropriate or inappropriate, but Janice really forcing the mic into everybody's mouths, and Carmela saying, "Fine, you want the mic in my mouth? I'll say what people are actually thinking." That's a completely reasonable reaction when, like, she's really trying to get everyone to say something they don't really think, right? Trying to force Anthony Jr. to say something nice about his grandma when he didn't really get along with her because she was kind of terrible to him. It all really devolved for her. Like there was a time in season one where the grandkids really seemed to care about her, but she just got so awful that what do you do? Man, this was a really good episode. I like the fact also that Dr. Melfi was in it, but didn't do much. She didn't really talk Tony down. She didn't direct how Tony was feeling. He was just kind of left on his own to deal with it, and I really like that decision because he didn't know how to act. And I think that if Dr. Melfi had kind of coached him on how to act throughout the funeral, throughout this whole grieving process, I think we would have lost a lot in that it was great that everybody, including Tony at the funeral, had to sit there and face the fact that they weren't sure how to be, right? He didn't have Dr. Melfi to say, here's how you need to feel about your mother. Here's a healthy way to deal with it. Here's how you need to act about at the funeral. Here's how you need to handle all this stuff moving forward. He didn't have that, and he had to do what everyone else did and just live his life and feel his feelings, whatever they were, without even if he couldn't understand them or put them all together. This was a really, really well done, well written episode. Again, there was a moment in her last scene where she's like, she was playing the "I don't remember anything, I don't even know what I'm talking about." Um, I wish it would just take me, which is prescient. Where after Tony left, and like a wave of recognition and of being mentally aware kind of seemed to wash over her, and I felt like, okay, we're not done with her, and then she dies. I don't know. I can't remember the actress' name. I'm sorry. When the actress who played Livia, died, but did it happen during the run of the show here? Like at this point, is that like why she's off the show, or was this like planned well out? I don't know, because it felt like there was more. But again, this is a show that defies expectations, right? They could have just been setting me up to feel like there was more coming for her, and then to kind of pull the rug out from under me, as they've done multiple times on this show. I liked it. I liked the choice, but it does feel like something was incomplete there with her. So maybe that was the plan all along. But I do feel like we weren't done with her yet. Of course, I felt the same way with Richie, and I was completely wrong there too. I'm really curious to see, now that we've gone through this process, what it's going to look like moving forward. And it looks like Janice is completely back and going to be an awful presence. I don't think we're done with Joey P. Joe Pantal. Because obviously he's a pretty good sized star for the show at the time. This wasn't terribly long after The Matrix, right? His stock was on the rise here. I don't know how long he's on the show. He might be the new Richie. That he's a really, really solid guest star that's going to be around for a while. But I think that obviously the beating of the recycling manager. I think we're going to have a lot to say moving forward. And Junior's going to be included in it, dealing with the conflict around the garbage truck routes. Also, I don't know if like Richie's crew, who seem to be undisciplined before now, really especially his son, buys the fact that Richie's in witness protection. Richie didn't seem like the kind of guy to turn state's evidence and go into witness protection. So I don't know that's a story that's really going to sell. I guess we'll see moving forward. Maybe we are putting an end on Richie's story and the ramifications of him being dead. I'm not sure, or Janice being back, and if that's going to ever come out to anybody else. But I guess we shall see moving forward. I'm excited about this season. Appreciate it, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.